Greetings, students. Welcome to Happiness and the Meaning of Life, Philosophy 1040, I believe it is, in the Summer 1 2026 semester. My name is Dr. Schafer, and I am the instructor for this class, and I've created this video to provide a brief introduction to the class and to give you an orientation for how things are set up in the class. So I'd like to do three different things in this video. Tell you a little bit about myself, talk about how to navigate the course on Brightspace, and then to talk about or to provide you some tips for how to succeed in this class. So let me start with myself. I am a longtime Xavier faculty member. I believe I just finished my 27th year at Xavier. I know I started in the fall of '99. It was my first academic job after completing my PhD in philosophy in Chicago. I was at DePaul University, came to Xavier and fell in love with Xavier. I fell in love with the institution, with the students, with the city of New Orleans, and really I've found no reason to leave since then. And so I'm still here after all these years and really enjoying what I do. So personally, I guess I could say that I am married. I've been married since for almost 20 years. I've got my 20th anniversary coming up this year. I've got two kids. They're twins. They just turned 10 years old. They were actually born on the last day of the semester in the spring of 2016, which was a crazy time. We also have a 5-year-old German Shepherd that is part of the family, and she is right underneath this desk that I am sitting at, which is where she usually is when I'm working. If you've ever had a German Shepherd, you know that they go where you go. And that's the case with Luna, our German Shepherd. Okay, so there's if you're more interested in stuff about me, like more details, check out my introduction post on the introductions page of the discussion board, where I tell you about some of my interests and hobbies and stuff like that. Okay, let's talk about Brightspace. So this is an asynchronous online course. We are using Brightspace. It's really important that you figure out how to navigate all the different components of this course on Brightspace in order to do well in the class. So what I would recommend that you do is that once you log into the page, the Brightspace page for this class, you'll see the announcements and all the other stuff that is the same for every Brightspace page, no matter what course it is. But what I recommend that you do is that you go to the Content tab, which is on that bar at the top of the screen. And I'm going to do that right now. And if you click on that Content tab, you'll be taken to the content area for the class. And when you're there, you will see on the left-hand side, there's a menu of things, a vertical menu. And at the very top of that vertical menu is something called Overview. If you click there, you will be taken to the Overview area within the content part of Brightspace. And that will give you a brief overview of the course, to let you know what you're in for this semester. And then at the very end of that, it'll say, to get started, click the Start Here tab. And you will also find the Start Here tab on that left-hand menu, that vertical menu. And so if you click there, if you click on the Start Here tab, you'll be taken to the Start Here area for the, sorry if this is very basic for you, but for some students, they may be new to Brightspace. And the Start Here area basically presents you with a glorified syllabus for the course. So there are a number of links there that will take you to important features of the course, about the assignments, about the grades, how the grade is determined, how to navigate the course on Brightspace, how it's set up, and all of that stuff, okay? The other thing that I want to mention about navigating the course on Brightspace is to say that what I have done for this class is to break the course into 5 units for each of the 5 weeks of the semester. And you will also see that on that left-hand menu when you're in the content area of the course. You'll see week 1, week 2, week 3. So once you have full access to Brightspace, which you will on the first day of the class, when you click on the week 1 tab, you'll be taken to the week 1 area of the course, and you'll see kind of a calendar up at the top of what we're going to be doing each day. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. This will tell you when to do a particular reading, when to make discussion board posts, when there's going to be a quiz, when there is a short writing assignment that is due, and so on. And then down below that will be links to all of those assignments. So for example, in week 1, I'm looking at it now, the first thing down at the bottom is a link to the introduction posts on the discussion board. And so to do those required posts, all that you've got to do is to click on that link. You will be taken to the discussion board part of the class, and you'll figure it out from there. There are other ways to navigate all of the different components of the class, but the easiest way is just to go through the weekly tab, for week 1, week 2, whatever week we're in, and you'll see how that works. Okay, tips for success. Last thing. The most important tip is to keep up with the deadlines. This is an online class, which means that you are more on your own than any class during the regular semester where you meet in person. So you're going to need to make sure that you are aware of and informed about all the deadlines, because we're doing a lot of different stuff for this class. And because it's an online class, there are various things that you'll be asked to do that we otherwise would be doing, frankly, in class together, like we would be having discussions in class. But since this is an asynchronous online class, we'll be doing the discussions online through the discussion board. But you need to know when the deadline is for those, because if you miss the deadlines, you will have to take zeros for those grade categories. Okay, I'm going to be really strict about that. It's going to be up to you to be aware of and to be informed about deadlines for the course. I will send out reminders, especially at the beginning of the semester, until everyone kind of gets the hang of it. But really, that's your responsibility to be aware of when a quiz is happening, when a discussion board post is due, etc. Okay, second tip for success in this class is do the readings. This is a reading intensive course. You cannot do well in this class without doing the readings. And as you know from that announcement that I posted on Brightspace, and I sent out an email to accompany that, there are 3 required books for this class. You need to get physical copies of exactly those editions of the texts. And because the readings are the content basis for the class. This is where the ideas that we will be talking about and discussing, the ideas about happiness and the meaning of life, ideas that if you give them a chance could change your life, could give you a completely different perspective on things. And all of that is going to come from the books. So make sure that you do the books and have that one-on-one engagement with the author of the book, and then take that engagement to the discussion board, and take that engagement to the short writing assignment, that you'll be doing, etc. Okay, third tip, speaking of the discussion board. The discussion board is really important for this class because it takes the place of the discussion, the conversation that we would be having together in a physical classroom. So I really encourage you to really put your own voice into your discussion board posts. Discussion board posts are not graded. I don't grade the content of the posts. So I set it up that way because I want you to feel liberated to really say what's on your mind about whatever the thread is that you're responding to on the discussion board. And as long as you follow the rules and you get the posts in on time, then you'll get full credit for every single discussion board post that you make throughout the semester. And that's important because, and this leads me to the last tip for success, which is really just a quick discussion of how the grade is determined for this class. So there are 4 main grade categories. There is a critical essay that you will do at the very end of the semester. There will be regular discussion board posts, as I've mentioned a couple times. There will be regular quizzes. There will be regular short writing assignments. Each of those 4 pieces of the grade will count 1/4 or 25%. I think it's really important for students to be aware of how the grade is determined in whatever class that you're taking. In this class, it's based on a percentage. It's not a point system, but it's a percentage system. So your final quiz average, for example, after we drop the lowest quiz, because I will drop the lowest quiz, and then your final quiz average, whatever that number is, will count 25% of your overall grade for the class. Okay. Look, if you have any questions about any of this, feel free to email me. I will be having Zoom office hours during the semester, and I will post those on Brightspace shortly. But I wish every single one of you a successful semester. I hope you enjoy the class. I hope you get a lot out of it, and I hope it makes a difference in your life.